So when they use all those heavy grammar in the place of prayer, you think it's a reflection of their spiritual growth. And then you meet the person who is God himself praying, and the prayer was very simple. Father, I thank you for thou hearest me always. Lazarus, come out. Let me look at someone around and say, stop intimidating me with your prayer life. Stop intimidating me. Can't you see me? I pray 3 hours. You need 3 hours. That's why you pray 3 hours. You need 3 hours. You need 3 hours. You need 40 days. That's why you are there. Moses, 40 days was not enough. When he broke the commandment, God said, look at you. Anger is the reason why I kept you there for a long time. Oh yeah, you are coming again for another 40 days. And then somebody will now say, can you imagine Moses, before he did the ministry, he spent 80 days. Go and fast 80 days. Go and fast 80 days. How that you don't know that the times we spend, we are going to do 40 days as a church. Why do we do 40 days? So that during those periods, God can break us down so that we can hear him. That's what we do 40 days for. We don't fast for God. He doesn't need to be changed. He has all we need. He's been trying to get it across to us. We are too distracted with too many things. So we need a situation that will get us in tune with him, which includes fasting. And I believe in fasting. I do it. I live a fasted life. Jesus said to them, he said, listen, my disciples, I want to share with you something. You've just seen me curse. You've seen me release the supernatural. I spoke to a tree and the tree dried up. He said, you've also seen me. I was in a storm with you guys, and you couldn't speak to the storm. You couldn't cause the storm to cease. Of course, it's very obvious. You don't spend much time with God. And then he said to them, he said, when I came out, I spoke to the storm, and the storm ceased. So I speak to nature, I speak to elements, and they all respond. He said, let me tell you how it works. Because I'm going to be leaving you very soon. This is Mark chapter 11. In 5 more chapters, I'll be gone. So let me tell you how it works. How many of us want to know how to release the supernatural? How many of us? I'll share 2 things with you today. In the next, on Wednesday, I'll deal with you on how to release the supernatural in your finances. Next week, Sunday, I'll continue on how to continue to release the supernatural. 2 ingredients. Look at what Jesus said to them in verse 23. Verse 22. Jesus said to them, have faith in God. Woman of God, if you want to release the supernatural, Jesus said, have faith in God. Have faith in God. In fact, the better translation says, have the God kind of faith. Is that all right? Have the God kind of faith. What is the God kind of faith? What kind of faith does God have? Where do we see the faith of God at work? Genesis chapter 1. What was the God kind of faith? Jesus just spoke to a tree, and the tree dried up. The disciples were wondering, how did it happen? And Jesus said to them, have faith in God. Have the God kind of faith. Meaning, what I just did is exactly what God normally does. What scriptural reference do we have to how God does it? Genesis chapter 1. God said, let there be. Anybody heard what I just said? Huh? Let there be. God didn't describe what he saw because God was not running commentary on Satan's activities. You hear what I just said? Some of you, before you ever pray once, you will have described the situations for almost 7 days. Have you seen what I'm going through?